Have you ever walked into a room to get something and then stood there completely frozen because you suddenly had no idea why you were there? Or maybe you were in the middle of telling a story to a friend and the name of a person you have known for 20 years just vanished from your mind? It is a terrifying feeling. You start to wonder if this is it. You wonder if this is the beginning of the end of your independence. You might look at your spouse or your children and fear that one day you won't recognize them. We have been told that this is just a normal part of aging. We are told that getting older means getting slower and forgetful. But what if I told you that for many of you, that mental fog isn't caused by age at all? What if the thief stealing your memories isn't nature, but something sitting right inside your medicine cabinet? There is a silent epidemic happening right now among people over 60. It involves medications that millions of us take every single day thinking we are doing the right thing for our health. We trust our doctors and we trust the prescriptions, but we rarely ask what these chemicals are doing to our delicate brain chemistry over the long term. Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on 3 specific types of common medications that have been scientifically linked to memory loss and cognitive decline. These are pills you might be taking for sleep or for allergies or even for your heart. And the scariest part is that the side effects of these drugs can look exactly like dementia. But here's the good news. This is often reversible. In this conversation, we are going to identify these memory thieves, and more importantly, I am going to show you how to use food as medicine to heal your brain and protect your memory. We will talk about what to eat to counter these effects and how to regain the sharpness you thought was gone forever. You do not have to accept brain fog as your destiny. Before we dive into this life-changing information, I want to welcome you to our community. If you care about staying healthy and independent well into your 80s and 90s, please consider subscribing to our channel. We share the kind of science-based health tips that empower you to take control of your body. And I am curious to know who I am talking to today. Are you watching from the United States or the United Kingdom or Canada or perhaps somewhere else entirely? Drop a comment below with where you are from. It is always incredible to see how far our senior health community reaches, and it makes me feel like we are all in this together. Let us get started with the first major culprit. This one is shocking because it is something you can buy without a prescription, and you might even have it on your nightstand right now. We are talking about a category of drugs called anticholinergics. Now, that sounds like a big complex medical word, but you know them by much simpler names. These are the medications found in many over-the-counter sleep aids and allergy pills. If you have ever bought a nighttime pain reliever or a generic allergy medication to help you doze off, you have likely taken these. Here is the science of why this is dangerous for your brain. Your brain relies on a specific neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. Think of acetylcholine as the chemical messenger that helps your brain cells talk to each other. It is absolutely critical for learning and for memory and for muscle control. When you learn a new phone number or remember where you put your glasses or recall a grandchild's birthday, acetylcholine is doing the heavy lifting. It is like the electricity powering the lights in your house. Now, the problem with anticholinergic drugs is right there in the name. They are anti-acetylcholine. They work by blocking this chemical messenger. When you take these drugs to dry up a runny nose or to make you drowsy enough to sleep, you are essentially dimming the lights in your brain. You are chemically preventing your neurons from firing the way they need to for memory formation. For a young person whose brain is resilient and full of reserves, this might cause a little grogginess the next morning. But once we cross the threshold of 60, our brain chemistry changes. We have less acetylcholine naturally. So when you take a drug that blocks what little you have left, the effects can be devastating. Research has shown a strong link between the long-term use of these medications and an increased risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It is cumulative. That means the more you take them, the higher the risk. You might take a pill to sleep because you are worried about being tired, but in the process, you might be sacrificing the very clarity you need to function. It creates a vicious cycle. You feel foggy, so you feel anxious, so you take more medication to calm down or sleep, and the fog gets thicker, but do not panic. The goal here is not to scare you, but to empower you. If you are relying on these medications for sleep, there are powerful, natural alternatives that work with your body rather than against it. Let us talk about food as medicine. Instead of reaching for that antihistamine to make you sleepy, let us look at what nature provides. One of the best kept secrets for senior sleep is tart cherry juice. Tart cherries are one of the few natural food sources of melatonin, which is the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle. But unlike a synthetic pill, tart cherries also come packed with anthocyanins. These are powerful antioxidants that protect your brain cells from inflammation. Imagine replacing that chemical pill with a small glass of tart cherry juice an hour before bed. Not only does it help you drift off, but it is actively repairing your blood vessels while you sleep. Another powerhouse for sleep is magnesium. As we age, our magnesium levels often drop, and low magnesium is linked to insomnia and anxiety. Instead of a drug, try adding a handful of pumpkin seeds or a serving of spinach to your dinner. These foods are rich in magnesium, which helps relax your muscles and calm your nervous system naturally. You see the difference? The medication forces your body into submission by blocking a vital chemical. The food supports your body's natural rhythms and provides the building blocks for repair. It is a completely different approach, and your brain will thank you for it. Many people who switch off these anticholinergic drugs and start using dietary strategies report that their memory starts to improve within weeks. It is like the fog lifts and the sun comes out again. Now let us move on to the second category of medications that can steal your memory. This group is very commonly prescribed for anxiety and for sleep issues. They are called benzodiazepines. You might know them by brand names like Valium or Xanax or Klonopin. These drugs are incredibly effective at what they do. They calm you down almost instantly. If you are having a panic attack or a moment of extreme distress, they can be a lifesaver. However, the problem arises when they are used long-term, especially in older adults. These medications work by enhancing the effect of a neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is the brain's natural tranquilizer. It slows down brain activity. When you are 60 or 70, your metabolism slows down. Your liver does not process drugs as quickly as it did when you were 30. This means that when you take a benzodiazepine, it stays in your system much longer than it is supposed to. It can build up in your body like a slow rising flood. The side effect of this buildup is a persistent state of sedation. It is not just that you are calm, it is that your brain is moving through molasses. This can lead to confusion and memory lapses and a lack of coordination. In fact, one of the biggest risks with these medications for seniors is falls. You get up in the middle of the night and you are groggy and you lose your balance. A hip fracture can change your life in an instant. But even without the falls, the cognitive impact is profound. There is a phenomenon known as pseudodementia. This is when a patient comes into the doctor's office showing all the signs of dementia. They are forgetful and they are confused and they cannot follow a conversation. The family is heartbroken, thinking it is Alzheimer's. But when the doctor looks at their medication list and sees a benzodiazepine and carefully weans them off of it, the dementia disappears. The person comes back. That is how powerful these drugs are. They can mimic a degenerative brain disease. So what is the alternative? We live in a stressful world and anxiety is real. But we can look to food and lifestyle to soothe the nervous system without shutting it down. One of the most exciting areas of research today is the gut-brain connection. We now know that a huge amount of our neurotransmitters, including serotonin and GABA, are actually influenced by the bacteria in our gut. If your gut is inflamed, your brain will be anxious. To combat anxiety naturally, we need to feed the good bacteria in your gut. This means fermented foods, things like yogurt and kefir and sauerkraut and kimchi. These foods are rich in probiotics that lower inflammation and have been shown to reduce anxiety levels. Imagine treating your anxiety not with a pill, that sedates you, but with a bowl of yogurt that nourishes you. It sounds too simple to be true, but the science is clear. A healthy gut leads to a calm mind. Another incredible food for brain resilience is fatty fish like salmon or sardines. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 seconds are the building blocks of your brain cells. They keep the cell membranes flexible and allow signals to pass through easily. People with higher levels of omega-3 seconds in their blood are less likely to suffer from anxiety and depression. If you do not like fish, walnuts and chia seeds are also great sources. By incorporating these foods into your diet, you are building a brain that is resilient to stress. You are giving your body the tools to calm itself down naturally without the chemical hammer of a heavy sedative. Now, I want to pause for just a second. I know this is a lot of information and it might feel a little overwhelming. You might be thinking that you have been taking these medications for years and wondering if the damage is already done. I want to reassure you right now, the human brain is incredibly plastic. That means it can change and heal at any age. It is never too late to make a change. If you are finding these tips helpful so far, please take a moment to click the like button below. It really helps spread this message to other seniors who might be struggling with memory issues and not knowing why. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do. We are just getting started, and I have one more major medication category to tell you about, and this one is probably the most controversial of all. Let us talk about the third medication that can impact your memory, and this one is tricky because it is often vital for heart health. We are talking about statins. Statins are prescribed to lower cholesterol. Millions of people over 60 take them every single day to prevent heart attacks and strokes. And let me be very clear. I am not telling you to stop taking your heart medication. That is a conversation you must have with your doctor. But it is important to understand the potential side effect that isn't always discussed. Your brain is the fattiest organ in your body. It is composed of about 60% fat. A large portion of that fat is actually cholesterol. We have demonized cholesterol for so long that we forget it is an essential nutrient for the brain. It is used to build the myelin sheath, which is the protective coating around your neurons. Think of it like the rubber insulation around an electrical wire. If that insulation wears down, the signal shorts out. Some research suggests that by aggressively lowering cholesterol, especially in the elderly, we might be depriving the brain of the raw materials it needs to maintain those connections. Furthermore, statins do not just lower cholesterol, they also deplete the body of a molecule called coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10. CoQ10 is essential for energy production in every cell of your body, but especially in the brain, which uses 20% of your body's energy. When CoQ10 levels drop, you might experience brain fog and mental fatigue. You might feel like you just cannot summon the mental energy to think clearly. So, how do we navigate this dilemma? We want to protect our hearts, but we also want to save our brains. This is where diet becomes your most powerful weapon. If you can manage your cholesterol and heart health through food, you may be able to work with your doctor to lower your dosage or perhaps eventually not need the medication at all, depending on your situation. The hero food here is dietary fiber. Most of us do not get nearly enough. Fiber acts like a scrub brush in your arteries. It binds to bad cholesterol and removes it from the body before it can cause harm. Foods like oatmeal and beans and lentils and pears are packed with soluble fiber. Eating a bowl of oatmeal with some berries in the morning is a powerful heart health intervention. Another incredible food for both the heart and the brain is the avocado. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, which help lower bad cholesterol while raising good cholesterol. And remember how we said the brain needs healthy fats? The fats in avocado are exactly what your brain is craving. It is a win-win. You protect your heart and you feed your brain. Also, if you are taking a statin, you should talk to your doctor about CoQ10 supplements, but you can also get it from food. Fatty fish and organ meats, and even spinach and broccoli contain CoQ10. By flooding your body with these nutrient-dense foods, you are providing a buffer against the side effects of the medication. Now, I want to touch on something that ties all of this together. It is not just about one medication or one food. It is about the burden we place on our bodies as we age. When you are 60, your liver and your kidneys are working hard to filter everything you put in. When you take 3 or 4 or 5 different medications, that is a heavy chemical load. This is often called polypharmacy. The interaction between these drugs can create a cocktail that is confusing and disorienting for the brain. Dehydration is another factor that makes this worse. As we age, our sense of thirst diminishes. We drink less water, but medication needs water to be flushed out of the system. If you are dehydrated, the concentration of the drug in your blood goes up and the side effects get worse. Something as simple as drinking a full glass of water with every meal can profoundly help your memory by helping your body clear out toxins and medication residues. Let us visualize what happens when you start making these changes. Imagine your brain as a garden. For years, maybe the soil has been dry and chemicals have been sprayed that stifle the growth of new plants. That is the effect of poor diet and heavy medication use. But now you start watering the garden with hydration. You stop spraying the harsh chemicals by finding natural alternatives for sleep and anxiety. You add rich fertilizer in the form of omega-3 seconds and antioxidants from berries and greens. What happens? The plants start to perk up. New growth appears. This is neurogenesis. Your brain can grow new cells and form new connections. You might notice that you are remembering names faster. You might find that you have the energy to read a book in the evening instead of falling asleep in the chair. You might feel more present with your family. This is not just a fantasy. This is the biology of the human body when it is supported correctly. It might feel a little unsettling to learn all this. You might be looking at your pill organizer with a bit of suspicion right now, and that is a good thing. Awareness is the first step to change. But please remember, knowledge is power. Now that you know, you can make simple changes to protect your health. You do not need to overhaul everything overnight. Even cutting down on that daily sugary snack or adding 1 serving of leafy greens can spare your brain a lot of stress. You might start to notice less stiffness in the mornings and more energy on your walks once you swap these foods. Imagine walking up the porch steps easily again and remembering exactly what you went inside to get. That is the difference these small tweaks can make over time. The body is always trying to heal. It wants to be healthy. We just have to stop getting in its way. So let us recap the plan. First, be wary of anticholinergic sleep aids and allergy meds. Try Tart cherry juice and magnesium-rich foods instead to help you sleep naturally. Second, be cautious with benzodiazepines for anxiety. Feed your gut with fermented foods and nourish your brain with omega-3 seconds to build resilience against stress. Third, if you are on statins, make sure you are supporting your brain with healthy fats and CoQ10-rich foods and using fiber to naturally manage your cholesterol. And above all, hydrate. Drink water. Keep your system flushed and clean. These are not difficult changes. They are delicious changes. Eating berries and nuts and avocados is not a punishment. It is a celebration of what your body can do. I know getting older is hard. The aches and the fear of losing mobility and the worry about memory can be scary and discouraging. But you are not alone in this, and it is not too late to turn things around. Every small step you take, every better food you choose, every good habit you build is strengthening your brain and your future freedom. One meal and one step at a time, you are taking charge of your health. Your golden years should be a time of wisdom and joy, not a time of confusion and fog. You have worked hard your whole life, and you deserve to enjoy this chapter with clarity and vitality. The power is on your plate, and the potential is in your hands. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Do you have any personal experiences with these medications, or have you found natural remedies that work for you? Share your story or any questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and we all learn from each other. Your experience might be the thing that encourages someone else to make a change. And one last thing, if this video helped you or opened your eyes even a little, please hit the like button because it means a lot to me. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on important health insights that could improve your life. We have plenty more science-backed tips for thriving in your golden years, and I do not want you to miss a single one. Subscribe, because your health and your independence are truly worth fighting for. If you are still with me and you are determined to stay strong and keep your memory sharp, type the number 1 in the comments below to affirm it. Let us see how many of us are ready to take control. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember, your independence is carried by your mind and your body working together. Keep taking those small steps for your health, because they add up to giant strides in your freedom. I will see you in the next video.